Hey, Project Runway fans, up next we are recapping Season 16, Episode 10, where the designers will be doing an unconventional challenge sponsored by Lexus. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah. There's the lights. I was like, where's that?
Me too.
Hey guys, welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. We'll be recapping Project Runway Season 16, Episode 10, Driving Miss Unconventional.
Ooh.
I'm your host, Michelle Uberreste, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberreste.
I'm Hanna B. You can follow me at Hanna Bee Tucker.
Hey guys, you can follow me everywhere. My name is Mayte Carillo at Mayte Carillo _
Thanks, guys. So what did you guys think of tonight's episode? We have another unconventional challenge.
I was so stressed for the designers the
Me
whole
too.
time.
Yeah.
My heart was beating out of my chest, and I was like, oh my God, because they all had problems. They all were going through like super duper stress mode. I don't know. What'd you think?
I think Kenya just stressed me out.
Was the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
She just kept on
gosh.
pulling all that stuff, and she didn't even end up getting enough. But the funny part for me was how she stuck all those little beads inside
I was
her
gonna
like,
say that.
cleavage. And
Yes.
She's like,
I don't even think she used all those materials because there was like a bunch of orange
Yeah.
like earplugs or something
Yeah.
coming out, but she had a very she had an all black dress, but
Which is a
it was
huge
gorgeous.
risk, I think.
It was a huge risk, and Tim actually said no, but she
went
did it
with it.
anyways,
She went for
and
it, yeah.
it was a win. So
So we only have 6 designers left.
getting down to the wire, we got
I
our top
know.
6.
I can't believe it. I don't know how this happened.
I have no idea.
I know. Well, we lost two
Last week,
last
yeah.
week, so
Yeah.
we're jumping real fast here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our second unconventional
Yes.
challenge?
Second,
So
yeah.
The last one was a team.
It was a team
Challenge.
challenge. It was a group challenge.
So we
yeah.
actually get to see the designers on their own. And I don't know. I just love unconventional. And every time I feel so excited and then so let down.
I know. I mean, it really made all the designers just jump out of their box, and I mean, it paid off for most of them, which I thought was awesome. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
I thought this was such a great challenge for you, Michelle,
Yeah.
to do. I mean, right in the middle as we were watching it, I turned over to Michelle and I'm like, this is something I feel like you would really enjoy doing.
I know. I feel super inspired. I want to go home and make
Yeah.
something weird.
Did you get to do an unconventional challenge? When
Yeah,
you
I did
were?
a
You
couple
did.
of them.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that's cool.
won the first one.
Oh.
It was, yeah, it was unconventional and vampires. So I was like, if I didn't win that, then
Totally you.
yeah. So
I
I
was,
had to.
Yeah, I was just disappointed because I wanted them to win a car. I mean, I know that's the end prize too, but I was like, maybe a gas card or something.
But they didn't
like-
even win
anything.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know why. I wonder.
I feel like when you're this far ahead in the competition, you should at least have something.
I feel like the
Something,
whole
yeah.
way through, immunity is like overrated for me.
Yeah.
On my season, we won $5,000 if you won a challenge, and we had no
Whoa, that's
immunity. It was so much better. I was like, immunity, who
Wow.
cares about that? Like
Yeah.
$5,000
For every single challenge, it was
Yes, for-
$5,000?
Yes,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
on top of it, like if you get sponsored, then they can add to the prize too.
Wow.
So you won one
motivating.
challenge?
So I won one challenge. yeah.
$5,000, Richard.
Hey, at least it's something.
It's a
Yeah.
good. It's a good amount. Yeah.
Yes.
Very
So-
true.
But yeah, I feel like the designers, they're like excited, and I'm like, why? You won, but what does that mean? Nothing. It means you did a good job, but
Well, they're closer to the end prize, but
yeah.
But that's pretty much it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you won and that's it.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
I'm hoping it
did I
changes though.
win?
I hope
Maybe
they
top
change
5,
it too.
Top 4, and then we have the Tim Gunn save as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know
still
if he's
have it.
gonna use it. I really don't know.
He better. I really want to see him use it.
I feel
think
like he's
that'd
he's probably gonna use it like top 3.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
They're just holding out on us.
Yeah, he loves the drama.
There's always
He
the question of
does.
how many people are there going to be in the top 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Definitely seen
With the
a
twins
whole-
gone, I feel like it's top 3, top 2.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so the designers get to,
They
pick
didn't
out trash out of some Lexus
Yeah.
cars, which is, I felt like everything's all tangled together, and they're just like,
Yeah.
I don't
They
know, it
had
was
such
weird.
a tough time there. With
Can we
the-
just say too that the representative from Lexus, he wasn't even there for the runway.
Oh, they
never. A lot of
that.
times they don't. I mean, sometimes they do, but a lot of times I notice that too. They just aren't there. Maybe they're like, he doesn't know anything about fashion. But
I don't know. I think they should be present.
I think so
mean,
too.
Even for the Dixie Cup challenge, no one was present to decide whose design went on the cup, and that's a big deal to me. I thought that was a really important thing.
Yeah,
but
that is weird. Yeah, so Brian Bollane, General Manager, Product and Consumer Marketing. He's been on the show before because Lexus has sponsored Project Runway a couple times.
Right.
You can kind of recognize him if you watched the show before. But basically, they're trying to promote the safety features of the new 2018 Lexus line. But you're not supposed to play it safe with your design.
That's the part I had a hard time understanding.
They always have a stretch. They always try to like promote something as total stretch between like what they're gonna make the challenge.
It's like Lexus is not unconventional to me.
Right.
It's just, you know, and then when they opened the door and I saw that pop of color and I was like, that's Lexus? That's a representation of it? I don't know.
I think they're just.
I don't even think they had like a red Lexus.
It was blue, cool.
Or a gray one, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree, and I mean, it's cool, whatever. But so they have a whole bunch of like safety construction. I mean, I don't even know really what the theme was supposed to be. Caution tape. A lot of
How to
hair.
save your lives.
Yeah, it was a stretch for me. But so they get one day, 3 minutes to gather a bunch of construction junk. And it's funny, sometimes like I always look at like the clock in the background because some challenges are different than other. Like you get up in the morning, you know, get framed in and all this stuff, and then sometimes you don't start they didn't start this challenge till like 11:10.
So we only had a short amount of time, and then they had till 11 o'clock at night.
So it's like almost 12 hours, but you have to take lunch and you have to do your testimonial.
gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, just in all reality, I mean, making a garment, that's something that I think I should factor in more just in general is it's hard to make a garment in general, and then doing it that fast, that's, I mean, I gotta
make it fit.
Yeah, exactly. That's
It's very
just
difficult.
so challenging, so gotta give them credit there,
But
definitely.
then for an unconventional, I feel like it's even harder because you're trying to like
yeah.
break up pieces of stuff and use these weird materials and find out how to like incorporate them and make a garment that fits and make it cute.
Yeah, I mean,
and make it attractive for the judges and for them to be like, did you spend all the time working on this? It looks like you didn't even, you know, you tried minimal effort.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
But they were given a lot of color, so that was probably giving a lot of them a leg up, I think.
Right.
So basically in the workroom, we've only got 6 designers left. And everything kind of looked like a hot mess to me.
Yeah, didn't Tim Gunn say that it exploded or something? He was like, what's going on? But then Margarita had like everything organized in like little places.
Yeah, she had too much though. I felt like she could have shared, and she didn't.
She didn't have a lot of stuff.
Then again, this is a competition, right?
Yeah.
So we have to take that into consideration.
Very true.
But she had a lot of materials, which she did use, I feel.
She did use a lot.
Yeah, I think it gave her a kind of a leg up in the competition because she had more to choose from and more variety. And
She's tiny. She got into that car and just got everything.
yeah, she did. Oh, yeah, I'm excited to talk about her look.
Okay.
Oh.
What about the workroom, guys? We get the Tim Gunn critiques.
Some I agreed, some I didn't.
Me too.
I'm glad Kenya stayed with the black because that paid off, not using color.
I'm sad about Kotaro. I feel like he was going one way, and then after Tim came in and was like, is this all you're going to use? He was like so discouraged, and that's why he added the pattern that he did on top of his look.
But I don't think that's what killed it. You know what I mean?
Okay, then we're going to talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
And for Kotaro, I feel like he was so confused, and I feel like a lot of the design, and Brandon too, it's like unconventional materials. You do not, I mean, rule 1 of unconventional material challenge is you do not use the unconventional materials as a fabric. You just don't do it. You always get called out, except for Brandon this time, but
That's not really got called out for, though.
But it's, yeah,
That's
but
'cause
I
he
mean,
mixed it up.
that's what everybody kind of did, like use it as fabric. Like they didn't transform that materials, they didn't elevate it turn it into something else where you're looking at that and you're like, what is that? Is that a, construction hat? What is
This
it?
used to be a car.
It looks so different. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like what I get excited about when I watch these unconventional.
Did you think anyone pulled that look off though?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
One person.
Okay. We're going to get into it,
out.
right? Okay.
And this whole time, you kind of saw it, Mayte.
Yeah.
We
Which
think
one?
Michael is struggling
Oh,
this whole episode.
I called it out.
Yes.
You did.
I did. I don't know what it was. It was my intuition.
Yes.
just like,
But as soon as he started talking to his sister, and I was like, oh, he's going home.
Got
I feel like that's
emotional.
just a giveaway.
Yeah.
But then Kenya, was it Kenya who did it too?
She did. She did.
Yeah.
Her mom.
And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is a tough one. I don't know. But I think I'm still going to stick with Michael. And then yet again, he did. He ended up going home.
It's sad.
I think, too, in this part of the competition, you're so far, and you can kind of, you've seen the performance of a lot of the designers. You can kind of tell, like, who is straggling behind, who's keeping up, who's doing really well and thriving. And I think Michael was probably just the one that was struggling the most.
I did have a hard time finding his aesthetic throughout the whole competition. I wasn't too sure what direction he was going, what his whole branding was. I think that was kind of a theme throughout it. I do agree with that as well.
I mean, he has won 2 challenges, and last episode
true,
he
he
did
did.
pretty amazing jumpsuit. Like,
He did.
He definitely
in
has
a very-
talent.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think he'd make a good stylist, to be honest, because I think he has, like,
Yeah.
an eye and a vision, and, like, when he tries to make it, then it just doesn't come together how he imagined. I feel like I've seen that in a lot of his looks.
That's interesting.
Sometimes it's successful, but I've seen,
Yeah.
it's like, I like the idea, like the concept, I like where he's going, and then it's just, like, not executed.
Yeah, a great vision. That's exactly what happened on this outfit. It was like a great vision and where he was going, and then it didn't really turn out to be what he thought it was.
Right, just
what he
didn't
meant for
play
it
out.
to be.
I feel like he had 2 options to go with, and he just mixed both of them together.
All of the ideas.
All of it, yeah.
The worst. I've
And
been
I was like,
noticing,
no.
yeah.
It's like, don't do that. No, don't put that on top of that. Like, it was just a hot mess. It was
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah,
It's
it
really
was.
hard, I think, because Tim comes in and he gives you advice, and you have 2 options. You can follow it or not follow it. And a lot of people end up going home for doing one of those 2 things without using, like, you also have to be true to yourself, and sometimes that means not listening, but you also have to open your mind enough to, like, listen to someone's objective opinion and take that into consideration and maybe change something.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of designers are just so stuck in their own head that they're not thinking of Tim's advice, or they get intimidated, like, I have to take Tim's advice, or,
Right.
it's just thinking too much and not stepping back and looking at their own.
Yeah. I feel like that was a situation for Brandon in this episode specifically because, Tim was like, don't use that fabric. Was it foil or what was it? It was like a life.
Oh, I think it was an emergency blanket.
Emergency blanket.
blanket.
Yeah. And he was trying to sew it and he's just like, don't use it. Like, try not to use this. And he was like, I really don't care what he says. Like, I'm just going to use it and go with my design that I had in my head. And once he figured out for himself that
True,
he
he
couldn't do it, he's like, screw it.
Yeah,
the
at
idea
least-
started coming in.
Which I think was better. I can't.
think so, too.
Basically,
I think it
it looks
was.
like tin foil or like a silver garbage bag. You're never going to be successful making that into something
Yeah,
attractive. So
right.
it's always going to look like a garbage bag.
That I think the fact that he changed the fabric really is what saved him, and I think he would have been in the bottom if he didn't change out the fabric. That was a big big saver for him. So
I didn't really care much for the end product, but I think it was better. I think it was better than the tin foil top.
I mean, if it were going down the runway,
That was one of my favorites.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
It's one of my We'll get into it, though.
Yeah,
like,
we
we'll
will.
get into detail
We
about
have
that
so much
because
to get
I
into.
do have some stuff to say, which is shocking because I'm always giving him such a hard time. But just because I want to see something different.
Yeah.
he's a talented designer, but I'm gonna explode if I didn't. I was gonna explode if I didn't see something different from Brandon. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like the same habitual.
You guys think it was really different?
For
I do
him,
think
yes.
it was.
Okay. Interesting.
Was there any straps
We now know
on
what
this
you
outfit?
think.
I guess there was, but
Okay, should we get into the looks?
let's do it.
We only have 6 designers
I
left.
can't believe it.
So, speaking of Brandon, Brandon's look, he basically made what I consider to be a glorified crop top. And he kind of just took all these different materials, textures, pieces of construction garbage and pieced them into a crop top with just a big circle skirt. He does have a lot of kind of interesting geometric shapes and colors going on, which I think for him, it's a big difference in the color palette.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to transform the unconventional items into an actual product, is the geometric shapes, because I think that's naturally what you get in those types of materials. So I think he did a great job incorporating those, and the judges really liked the placement, and I agree with them there. I know the skirt was a little bit too short in the back, so that's something for him to keep in mind. But again, I'm glad he changed the material, and it is definitely streetwear.
It is.
Which is kind of him anyways.
Yeah, he's very streetwear. What I found interesting and why I do like this look is because it has movement, and it's something that he doesn't really focus on, and it's flirty, it's girly. We all know since the very beginning he's done stuff for like menswear. And I actually like what he did with the pattern. It complements the top and the bottom portion, and I like the short skirt. I think it just gives it like that extra, I don't know, like flavor to his piece. And this is by far one of my favorite looks from him.
And what did they say it was made out of?
I think it was 2 different types of, the top were they safety guards or like a safety vest, I think?
Okay, like a safety vest.
And I think one of those boats.
Boats.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
Well,
the
that's-
lining.
If you can't tell, that's a good thing. That's the whole point, you know?
It is, but I still think he used everything as a fabric. I don't see anything that's like transformed into something that you're like, oh, I couldn't have made this at Mood if I had tried really hard, you know?
I do. I think it's just a mixture of pattern at the top. Like the mixture of pieces, he just brought them together.
I wish it would have had more hardware. Like, the only thing that looks unconventional to me is these little, like, metal buttons that he took off of the, whether it's the life vest or something.
Yeah.
I wish there would have been more things like that just to give it the interest. Because to me, I feel like you could just get, you know, orange and yellow and black fabric and white fabric and make this basically the same. And I've seen a lot of crop tops from Brandon, and I feel like this one was not well fitting. And I think it created an interesting shape, but I don't think it was intentional. And then a circle skirt to me is just, that's too easy.
How many stars did you give it?
I give it a 2.
A 2? Okay.
I wasn't really that into it, but I mean, it is attractive. Okay, so I'll give it that. Like, there are some looks that are not.
I like girly stuff, so I think just this is like girly for me, and that's why I like it so.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
I have to add though, Charlene, on our live chat, which we do have going on, and you guys can ask us any questions or comments. She said, I thought Brandon's design was out of the box for Brandon.
It's true. I think for him it was okay. There was no straps on it. I mean, that's like right. Actually,
Just the belts.
I love the straps, but like
I know. I don't mind them.
I do. I love them, but like you kind of have to do something a little different. And if he would have done another one of those, I feel like I don't think the judges would ever send him home, but he'd be like on the chopping block, so to speak.
You know what's crazy too is that regardless of his looks, they're like, I love it. I love it. I love it.
He's just a
every week.
favorite.
I really think they have like blinders on for Brandon.
I think they do.
I like Brandon. Okay, don't get me wrong. I really like his aesthetic, and I think it's super smart, and he's so thoughtful. He's not like arrogant or anything about it, and I think as an artist, you have to be more introspective sometimes, and not just be competing against everyone around you, but competing against yourself. And I think that he has that, but. I also think there's a one-trick pony-ishness to his look. So I really hope he makes it to the final 3 or 4. So because I'd like to see a whole big collection and see how that plays out.
Yeah, that would be neat.
But I would wear like most of his clothes.
Oh, okay.
I just think you have to show range sometimes, you know? Like,
Right, especially
you
in
have
a
to show
challenge.
you can do
This
something.
is
As
a competition,
as a designer, you have to reinvent yourself like every season, every year. And
Very true.
Yeah.
if you
Stay
don't,
relevant.
then, you know, it's like Heidi says, one day you're in and the next day you're out. So
That's what fashion
you
is.
have to keep adapting.
Yeah, very true. I think I gave this a 3. I did like it, and I do give him a lot of credit, and I do like that he went outside of his comfort zone a little bit here as well.
Yeah, I gave this look a 4. the reason why I didn't just give it a 5 is because the belt, I felt like it was just a little too cheesy for me. Like, okay, it's a belt. Like, we all know where that's supposed to go. If it has to go anywhere in your body, you're just like, where do I put this? I guess I'll put this on your waist. Like, yeah, it's an actual belt. But yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next look.
We have
Kotaro. Yeah, Kotaro. So, yeah, I mean, Kotaro
Introducing.
basically made a really not well-fitting crop top with kind of a pleated schoolgirl skirt, but he made it out of fire hoses, which kind of had this text on it, which I love the text.
Yeah.
But then he kind of added this fringe and these, you know, shapes of Native American kind of print inspiration. And then he styled, you know, Lyris, of all people, with, like, these pigtails and, like...
She did not like it. She was so mad.
Yeah,
I
about the
mean,
shoes,
you could see her
too.
face. Yeah.
I could tell, like, she was trying so hard to make this look good, but she was so mad about
And
it.
she usually just kills it down the runway no matter what she wears. And you can tell it was really bothering her this time around, which I thought was kind of funny.
And I didn't
Sorry.
really see... I know. And she said it herself. She's like, this is like a Pocahontas look.
It is. It's a little costumey.
Oh.
It's a little costumey. I actually kind of didn't mind it in a way, maybe because I like Pocahontas. Like, she's one of my favorites.
But it's so literal.
Costumey.
It is. No, it is a little bit too literal. It is. I think that he kind of freaked out last minute and just placed all the... It was like cones or, you know, the colored pieces
The piping?
on. The piping.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think alone it would have been fine. Well, no, he would have.
I think the colored pieces were good, but I wish he almost would have just
Yeah.
done something like more in your face, like bigger, different shapes.
He has the potential to do that. We just
Yeah.
didn't see that
Yeah.
here for some reason. I think he just started out in the wrong direction and he wasn't able to end up where he
I think he was trying to
wanted.
make something that he normally would make out of unconventional materials, and he
Yeah.
wasn't really getting into that. You know, the whole point of this type of challenge is to challenge you into doing something different and like think outside of your comfort zone, and he didn't do that.
No,
and it didn't work.
He plays it safe a lot too by doing a lot of skirt looks. So I don't know if this is unconventional or not, but I would have liked to see some flared pants long on this. I felt like that would have looked a lot better. And then just do something fun with the top part if you're gonna just be out there with it. And she does look very costumey. She did look very awkward. I felt so sorry for her, but it was funny.
I know. And Kotaro said, "Oh, should I make this a tank?" Yes, you should have. I'm really okay. I love actually the shape of shapeless crop top that Kotaro and Brandon make. I wear those all the time personally, but they're so easy to make, and I'm so over it. Like, I've seen them make this shapeless crop top over and over, and I feel like both Kotaro and Brandon have a little bit of a handicap, like, because. I don't know Kentaro's background, but he does a lot of oversized things. Like, it makes me wonder if either one of them can tailor a women's look.
That's a good question.
You know,
I don't see it.
Everything's oversized and loose fitting and
Very streetwear.
it is, and I like it, but it just makes me question if that's a hurdle they need to get over, both of them. Make a different top. Somebody make a different top for me.
I don't know. I gave this a 3.
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2 as well.
Oh, I'm the nice one here.
Yeah.
I expected more.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, and the fabric was so heavy. It's literally like the heaviest canvas you could ever imagine.
Yeah, and it was like
it's a
super
fire
hard
hose.
to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's thick material. That's like, there's a lot of water coming out of fire hose, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have done like some design or something, cut it into a piece or, I don't know, into little pieces and try to attach it somewhere. But he just, and I got really excited too when he started cutting it. And I'm like, oh my God, he was able to get a hose. Like, what is he going to do with it? And he's cutting and I'm like, oh.
And I like the print. There's like text printed on it, like safety or I don't know. But it was cool. I wish he would have played more on that. And like
very Forever 21.
Yeah, I mean, the skirt is like out there and the top's like whatever, and I just like, I feel like Kentaro's capable of so much more like that. I really love that origami top that he made a couple of challenges ago, things like that.
Yeah. Well, on a positive note, the judges did say that it was constructed very well. So, like, the zipper was placed very nicely. Everything was, you know, just meticulous in the way it was created. So that's why I gave the extra point. the extra star.
And I just think this isn't flattering for Lyris. You know, she's got a big bust.
It makes her look
She's
younger.
very tall, and it's like he's just kind of giving her this baggy stuff top. It's not sexy or flattering to me. You know what I mean? And she really is a confident woman, so it's like, if you're, you have to think
She's
about
contained as she was watching from like really fully
looked so
exploding.
uncomfortable. So I'm like, if a confident woman looks uncomfortable,
Well, they
you don't
asked her.
want.
Yeah.
That's true. That's not a good thing.
It wasn't good at
The judges
all.
asked her, they're like, do you feel uncomfortable? She's like, yep, there's this that's bugging me here. I'm like,
You could tell from her face. She was trying to
You could
restrain it, but it wasn't working. I just think it's always so important to think of how you're presenting. Like, really, their models are kind of their customer representation.
Right, that's true.
So you have to think of who you're dressing, and he didn't really take into consideration her body type or any of that. So
I think he was just distracted by the fact that he was trying to, because when it kind of happened again with him, when Tim came around, kind of threw him off and said, you need more here, you know, you need, they said like the hose is a fabric itself, so that's not going to be a good corporation of the unconventional challenge. So I think he got thrown off and distracted by that.
yeah, he was lucky. He was in by a hair, I think.
Yep.
I hope he gets to the finale though, because I'd like to see him in his element.
He's so funny. He just cracks me
He
up
is
every single
hilarious.
time
I
in the
love how much they
workroom.
mess with him. And he's so like nonchalant about it. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's really cute and funny.
Yeah. And they correct him too, and he says like an idiom or something.
Santa Claus or whatever. Yeah.
Hilarious. All right, let's move on. So this look is Michael.
Oh, Michael. This is like dollar store menu for me.
Yeah.
I was not liking this one.
So Michael basically made kind of a bondage dress out of these blue bungee cords with blue seat belts underneath and black gauze and tulle coming out of the bottom. I liked the top, the little bra top
bralette.
that he had made, and I was like, that is money. Base your look on that. And then he puts the harness thing on top of it, and it's just so messy for me. I would have liked to seen like a cleaner, really modern skirt, and I think he could have been on top. He could have.
Did he run out of materials? The blue?
He was just
Bralette
so
material?
questioning. But even if it wasn't that, he could have made something else,
Similar.
the skirt out of something else. I mean,
The
but
same
the top
woven
was
pattern
just
or
so
something.
clean, and like it just had one strap around the top, and it had these angular shapes to it. And then he's like, should I get rid of it? I was like, no, get rid of the harness.
Yeah, I think if he got rid of all the bungee cords, it would have been a better look overall.
The
hands
skirt was
down.
terrible too, though.
Yeah,
But
it
you know
wasn't
what? He
bungee
had,
cords,
but
though.
remember that he had that plastic bag as a skirt?
Oh, no,
I
they were
prefer
like, no,
this
no.
than the plastic bag.
Yeah.
I think you're right,
Oh, yeah.
but I just don't. I get the idea, and I think that like some of the shapes were kind of ergonomic and flattering, but there was just way too many like straps going on. It just looked
yeah.
really messy for me.
It's like there was a look underneath it, and then he just put the harness on top, and
Yeah.
it smushed everything together. I did like where he was going with the top. I think I looked at you, and we both were like, get rid of the harness, like, keep the top.
The top was so
And
good.
the color too, it's very vibrant. You can do something with it.
Yeah.
But then he just does that, and it's like he didn't listen to Tim.
No, and on the bungee cords, I know Zach Posen pointed out that it was kind of smushing in her boobs a little bit,
yeah.
and it just wasn't flattering, and it was kind of misshaping the bralette a little bit too, which totally threw the look off. And I think overall he started out with kind of like we said in the beginning, he starts out with the direction, but he didn't end up where he was trying to get.
And he was married to that idea, and he wouldn't let it go.
know.
Yes.
He wasn't being flexible with it, because I just think that bra top is like everything.
It's so cute.
And it's like really original, and then he just covered it up with all these messy straps.
Yeah, he covered it up. He didn't accentuate it with something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was so good. And then I just felt like, I mean, if I was a judge and I just saw that whole look come out, I wouldn't even really understand the bra underneath.
No,
Like,
because
you wouldn't see
it's
how
just-
cool it is.
No, because in itself, it is the way that it should be. You shouldn't have to add anything on top of it. maybe he could have just kept that top as it was and then tried doing something different with the bottom.
Even if he would have made like the skirt out of the blue bondage straps or whatever.
Oh, you're right. That would
And
have
not brought it up on top. I still would have liked that because I think basically from the waist down, the straps were cool. And like you said, the color was amazing. Just simplify a little. Like, I think he just kept adding and adding and adding all these straps, and they didn't make sense anymore.
I also didn't like the belt used in the back. It was, I don't know, it was a little bit out of place. I would have liked it to just have gone away and just left the skirt alone. Just because there was just one central figure to this outfit. And we needed to see that shine and live, and it just...
But I loved her styling.
Yeah.
From the neck up, it was like,
Oh, yeah. That hair and the lips.
Yeah.
I love her attitude, too.
Me too.
She's probably my favorite model. I really like her. She's really funny.
She's very down to earth.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So next we have Ayane.
Oh, yes.
Ayane.
Get it, girl. This was definitely my favorite. I'm sure it was your guys' too.
I actually gave this a 5, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's a first.
It is. I never give 5.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
5 stars. Yeah.
I give it 5 too.
There's like everything so right about this. She basically made just a gown, and she took that kind of netted construction fencing that was orange and like made this huge fluffy skirt out of it. She made the top out of, I think, one of those black latex boats, and then she busted up all of these reflectors, kind of put them on the front like rocks or gems. She's got red and blue, and then she's got a real strong shoulder, and then she actually added paint onto the skirt to give it more dimension, and a hard hat.
And a hard hat.
A hard hat, and it actually worked for me.
Yeah,
it did.
And then she really added this element of showmanship where she had the caution tape around the front. She had her model come in and like rip it off.
That was life.
That was
It was. It gave me life.
The model, the model Misha, she was like so fierce.
She was. She nailed it.
We should have started with that.
Oh my
Earlier,
god.
we should have all had a caution tape like,
That would've been
welcome to AFTERBUZZ.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
my
it was
gosh.
just everything about it. It looked so luxe. She added more color to it. She made it gritty with the paint, and it still worked. It didn't look crafty, and it was just everything for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, before she did the paint, I was a little bit like, that skirt just kind of is like a little bit too in your face. You know what I mean? There wasn't enough incorporation, but when she had the black paint on there, I was like, yes, you know,
Yeah.
that's
It's
what
Opposite.
really.
Yeah, I thought she should have left it without the paint.
Really?
Because when she was, no, not saying it doesn't look good, because I think it looks even better with the paint. But before she started adding the paint, I'm like, no, don't touch it. Like, it already looks good as it is. She just went with, what she wanted to do, and it worked really well. The only thing was like the sleeves, when we saw that chunk of glue.
Right. I am
was like,
shocked. The judges didn't see that, or they didn't say anything about it, and they didn't really show a close-up on how it looked after she glued it.
All the unconventional challenges,
You
they
could
hot glue
use-
everything together.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can for unconventional, but not for anything else.
So they let
yeah.
that slide with
But
everything
there was
else.
just so much glue, and I'm like, where is that? Like, where is she gonna
I thought that
insert
sleeve
that?
was coming
gonna,
off on the
like-
runway, like falling off.
Gosh, that'd been horrible.
She should have kept it without the sleeve, though. If she was having...
I kind of felt the same way in the workroom. I was like, I don't care for the sleeve, but now that it's like
It works.
all the whole look and style and everything, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It does. What was so innovative is she took the floaty material, she cut it up, and she used it as shoulder pads.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
that was so cool.
It is.
I loved that, and that's that shows how how dynamic of a designer she is, and how adaptable. Just really, really awesome.
I feel like this is her. This is what we've been waiting for to see. This gives me a picture of her style, her sense of where she wants to go, what she's working with. And she felt really confident about it, and you can tell. Especially when she left to the workroom. Well, it wasn't the workroom, it was the their little area after.
Yeah, that little sit area.
Yeah. And she was all dancing by herself, and I'm like,
So funny.
I would be doing the same thing. I'd be dancing, making cartwheels, flips. Like, cool, I just won this challenge.
And
No money, but
Yeah.
I just think she is she's got to be in the top, right? I love Ayane. You know what? The thing I love most about her is like this whole modest thing, because in the past, like the judges are always like, this isn't sexy enough, and that's not sexy enough, and that's not showing enough skin, and blah 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 all the time. So here she comes in like motivated. She's like, I'm gonna do this modest thing, and she totally pulls it off every time, and it is like amazing. It's not boring. It's not bland. It is like above all the rest.
She makes it work.
She's like proving the judges wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you can do whatever you want and still be awesome.
It's so funny. Like, at the beginning of this challenge, she said, I'm not scared. And I was like, that's the kiss of death. Don't say that. And I was so scared for her. And then everything came together beautifully. And then when that sleeve came off, I was like, there it is. Something bad's going to happen. But she still just killed it. And it just came together so beautifully.
Honestly, when Tim comes in to like let all the designers know we gotta go to the runway, like literally every single person's garment was falling apart.
Oh my gosh, I was on the edge of my seat. Yeah.
I don't think anyone's was like, oh, my zipper came off. Oh, my zipper came off too. Help me.
Is there such thing as like if they're not done, can Tim be like, okay, they're not ready, can I just give them another hour? Like, do you know if that?
I think it's happened in the past where they'd be like, he'd be come in and like, I want something better from you guys. Everybody's struggling. You get 1 more or 2 more hours, or we're going to give you another day or
that's
whatever. But it
cool.
doesn't happen often.
So it's like maybe if just everyone's having an issue.
It's like whatever, the producers feel like. But yeah, usually it's like, we want a better runway show or something,
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense.
Well, she made it work, and she did such an amazing job. I gave it 5 stars.
Gave
Yeah.
it 5. I don't think that's ever happened.
No,
Everyone
we
should
should
do
do like have a bell or something like 5 star.
give me the lights.
Give me the lights. Yeah.
5
Yeah.
5 star.
We should call Michael and ask him if he's giving this 5 stars.
We
should.
should.
Ooh, there we
We'll
go.
give it half a star, and then
Okay.
We'll ask
when he
Michael
comes,
next
we'll give a
week.
full 5 stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and she was the winner, well-deserved winner.
She was, yep.
Yep. Okay, we have 2 more looks. This one is Kenya. She basically took a bunch of seatbelts, made a skirt that looks super hippie, and then, as in big hips, and then she added kind of a little strapless top with it, and a little belt, and a little hat with a net on it. I mean, and it's all black. But you know what? I think she kind of wove the belts a little, which is like, okay, every Project Runway designer has woven seat belts, but it does look good. I just feel like for the hip part, either make it huge or don't do it, because it looks like neither here nor there. Like, is this a mistake?
It looked uneven.
Or, so but it really does look Kenya, and it looks classy.
It does. Kenya is classy. And this kind of brings me back a little bit to the avant-garde challenge with the hip thing. It's so like big and shapely, but overall I think the execution, she did a great job, and she had some issues with the zipper in the back.
She had a hell of a time with the
that
construction of the
that
seatbelts.
was-
She was
one of the
honest.
things that broke last minute. Yeah, and she was honest, and honestly, we've learned gets you far. Project Runway, don't lie, because they will find it.
Don't lie to Heidi.
Yeah, don't lie to Heidi.
Don't
She
even
will-
think
you will get
about
in
it. She will
trouble.
read your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I can totally see Angelina Jolie wearing this
Oh yeah.
down the red
Yeah,
carpet.
and she wears a lot of strapless.
She wears, this is very, what's that movie that she did? I can't remember the name, but it's
It's like a spy movie.
it's like a, no, she was like the wicked evil witch. I think it
Oh,
was Cinderella?
Maleficent?
Maleficent. Yes,
Maleficent.
it's very
Oh, right,
Maleficent
yeah.
vibes.
I can see that. And then the headpiece.
Yeah. Maybe not the headpiece, but just like the gown itself. I just didn't like this top portion. I don't know if it was sweetheart neckline or if it was just cut the way that it was supposed to. I didn't really understand it.
I think it was kind of like a fold over type thing, but you know what? Her zipper in the back wasn't closed either, so that might have been part of the fit for the top because it broke.
Maybe.
right.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know how I feel about the hat, guys. Like,
I don't like it.
I don't like it, but I think without it, it doesn't make as much sense. Like, to me,
Yeah.
with it, it's Kenya, but I don't really like it still.
I feel like without it, it's like when it's there, I don't even really see it. Like I kind of look past the hat, but without it, I think that the dress would have looked a lot
Boring.
plainer.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
if she
So
added it like, I don't know, like her.
maybe like a bracelet
Wrist,
or
yeah.
like
I would have liked that better. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think the hat was just, it's like gimmicky.
or maybe
Right.
yeah, a little bit. It's a little cheesy.
Very bridal.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to be kind of
Like a goth.
retro. Yeah.
Goth bride.
But I did like the fact that she did like a chevron on the skirt. It wasn't just like woven. She was kind of doing the angles
Yeah.
and doing something with it. I'm surprised that they let her get away with doing all black. Like when those
I am too.
Lexus, were filled with bright orange and yellow and stuff.
Well, that's almost part of the challenge to me, is that she took all these bright colors and different materials and she created a classic little black dress. I mean, that's the complete opposite direction that I didn't see coming, and she did pull that off. So I think that I got to give her credit for that.
But she just painted it, right?
And then she painted it over. The paint made it look so much better.
But
Yeah,
it looks good though.
Yeah, it does.
It's Kenya now.
I was
so
just
Kenya.
surprised. Like, I love all black. You guys know this.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
But always on the runway, I want to see like a little peak or something, color. I don't know. Maybe just her makeup even, or like a bright lip or something would have done it for me. I don't know.
Can I just say, the makeup room gives me life.
Oh my
Because when
gosh.
they're like, you have 1 hour, right? You have to send your ladies to the makeup room. I love that part better, the makeup and the hair, as opposed to the JCPenney wall.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like every single look we saw that they flashed on the screen with the makeup, we were like, ooh.
Yeah, we were.
We were so excited about it. It was so
The mixture
funny.
between, I think it was like a blue and a black, or like
Yeah,
a
the
green. And
Yeah,
we're like,
he took a shadow that
You-
was
yeah.
black, and then with the purple lipstick is made like a black lipstick.
yeah, you were
So
like,
cool.
whoa, what?
Yeah. And then for
Amazed.
Lyris, they did kind of like a white eyeliner and blue mascara.
So cool.
And without the Pocahontas look, it was cool, like this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes.
pigtails, yeah.
Yeah, that
fashion
pigtails not
forward.
so much, but they really kill it in the hair makeup room.
They do.
It is
Kudos
like,
to you guys.
We'll give that props for
Can
sure.
you do our hair and makeup?
I know.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
It's Avon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Avon?
Yeah.
I don't even know
Yeah,
who
I
it is,
think
you guys.
it's
This
Avon.
season they change all the time. It's like Sally Beauty, and then it was
Oh.
Mary Kay one
Long,
season.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
I don't
is
even.
I think it's
I
Avon.
haven't even been paying attention.
It's my
guys,
mom's
sorry.
brand. She loves them Avon
yeah?
stuff. Shout out to my mom. Hi, mom.
Yeah, the designers are killing it with the JCPenney wall, man. They are. I can't imagine there's like not very many options. I wouldn't be able to find any shoes there, I'm sure.
It is a challenge.
Yeah, a challenge. Yeah, for sure.
Challenge within a challenge.
Yeah.
Use the JCPenney wall tastefully. Okay.
Tastefully. As Tim
Speaking of
always says.
JCPenney, Erin, the winner of last season, has her collection out at JCPenney right now too. So
Yeah.
she's classing it up at JCPenney right now.
Very cool. Good for her.
Really affordable too. So check that out, you guys. And also, last but not least, our last look is Morita, and she basically took some kind of knee pads and made little cups out of them, and then she added the harness, and then she made a skirt out of caution tape, and then she added reflectors on top of everything, and then she cut out hard hats and made shoulder pieces. And then she made a purse, I think. I don't think
there
it
was a purse
I
there.
don't think
I
it was
didn't-
from JCPenney.
I didn't see her make one.
I didn't even notice she had a purse.
I
till
noticed
right
it
now
when
she mentioned
they did the close-up, and I was like, I don't think that's from JCPenney. It looks like construction materials, which is cool. I was like a little addition accessory or something, but this was way too much for me. I liked what she was originally in the workroom, and she had like the cups and the harness, and that was cool. It looked very like futuristic, and then she kept adding and adding and adding and adding, and to me it kind of just got messy, and I wish it would have just been like the focus on the cups and the harness, because they fit so well together, with something more basic and like it didn't look polished.
I 1,000% agree with you on that. I feel like this portion here was unnecessary, and just the top was just so creative. Like these two, because these were like shoulder pads, right?
Or knee
And
pads.
knee pads,
Yeah.
Knee pads. That was a look I'd wear myself, but without the shoulder pads, and it was just so simple and so futuristic, and something that you can totally wear. And
Yeah.
then, like you said, she was just putting on way too much. I'm like, stop.
It got too
Please,
busy.
yeah.
I love the knee pads. That just
Yeah.
like totally did it for me. And then, that was the first thing we saw when she was putting together her outfit. I was just like so excited. I could probably do without the hints of blue, because that kind of made it busy for me. Like maybe I wanted to see her paint the blue strap red, but everything was placed so nicely. And then,
Yeah, it really was.
the skirt, of course, tied in the red, and so that looks beautiful. But there was a lot going on for me, and I want to see a little bit more consistency in the outfit. But she utilized what she had very well, and I think organizing all of her materials really benefited her in this situation.
I just think it was interesting enough, like what she started with, and then I think she was like I need to turn up the volume, but she didn't really need to. Like, it was really
Oh yeah, she kind of freaked out a
interesting.
little bit. She had a freak out moment.
And
She's
then
like,
it
"I need to
kind of
turn
turned
up."
into like a Power Ranger maybe villain.
God, I put something like that. I put Powerpuff / Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I
Like-
mean, it's a little costumey in that
It,
sense.
yeah, that's
but-
the problem I have, because the beginning, yeah, it's already out there with like the cups like right out here, but like I could have seen a really edgy musician or something wearing that on
Totally.
Lady
stage.
Gaga.
Yes.
Gaga.
Yeah.
Katy
Yeah.
Perry.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
wear this. Let's start dressing some celebrities.
Totally. Yeah. So and the shoulders just added like this football element to it.
Oh
then,
yeah,
like football
it
shoulder.
did.
Yeah.
It did, and I think maybe the knee pads kind of assisted with that look a little bit.
Was this a dress or was it a top and a skirt?
I think
top
it was
and
a top and a skirt.
skirt.
Top
Yeah.
and a skirt.
Pretty
yeah.
sure. Sometimes it's hard to tell if they connect
Yeah,
or not.
sometimes it is.
Yeah, and the back too looked a little too busy for me. But I do have to give her credit because she did use all the materials and
She
she
did,
knew what she
yeah.
was doing, and she went for it. And I'm glad that she used all the colors because you can definitely tell that she got creative with it.
I
So-
like the blue and red. I just
Yeah.
think then when you go too far, then it does take it to that superhero place.
Well done.
But you know what? I think Zach brought it up too. He's like, I don't really know what your aesthetic is now.
Oh right.
And I was like,
that's a tough one.
yeah, I guess I never thought of
I
that.
never thought about
I didn't
that
either.
But now I agree.
At first it seemed like it was very she had the flowers and the florals and the
It
reds.
was very like
Miami.
cultural.
very
That's-
cultural,
yeah.
Miami, and I definitely saw that. So I think that's what we kind of pictured, and then maybe she changed her direction throughout the competition, and that's kind of why we got thrown off. But I think that's part of being a designer is developing, and you said changing it up. You have to be to stay relevant. So I think that's great that she's doing that. Honestly,
But I think you also have to have recognizability. You have to have signature. Not maybe just silhouettes, but like you want to be recognized by someone. You know, if you post a picture on Instagram or you have a dress in a window, you want clients to automatically be like, yes, this is Margarita or this is whoever. Like if they can't recognize you, you're not iconic. So
You're so right.
Gotcha.
I feel like it's awesome that she was experimenting, but then I do kind of look back and I was like, I'm not sure where that thread of commonality is.
I don't know where it got lost.
Yeah,
Now that
I
I'm
don't
like
either.
thinking back and thinking of like her past outfits, I don't know where, because I feel like she started off very strong and like with her aesthetic.
Yeah.
And then it got lost. So now I'm like, ooh, I don't know with this challenge.
But to be fair, I think that she took a lot of the like unconventional and weird challenges where you can't always do your aesthetic. So I think that's maybe where she kind of got off track. But I mean, a lot of the looks I still liked.
Me too.
But I just couldn't recognize them. Like if I was a judge and it was anonymous, I would be like, ooh, I don't really know which one that is, right?
Yeah.
So
Let's hope she gets it together next week.
yeah,
We get to see
pressure's
some
on.
florals. Come on.
So Michael unfortunately goes home, and Ayane's the winner of this challenge. And next week we will have some kind of warrior woman challenge, which I'm excited about.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that.
All right.
And Michael will be back.
Yeah.
Our Michael.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
what
that's
happened?
a no. You never know. We might have.
Never know in Project Runway.
Tim could
Yes.
use his save.
That's true.
I don't think so, but he might.
You think so?
No.
Oh.
No.
All right, thanks for joining us on this episode of AfterBuzz. We'll see you guys next week. I'm your host, Michelle Uberreste, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Uberreste.
And I'm Hannah B. You can find me at Hanna BEE Tucker.
And I'm Mayte Carillo. You can find me everywhere at Mayte Carillo _.
All right, guys, see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.